Most people never notice this, but the ones who don't obsess over sports are usually treated differently by society. They feel disconnected in group conversations. They fake reactions during big games, and sometimes they quietly wonder if something is wrong with them. But the truth is deeper than that, because people who don't emotionally attach themselves to sports often see human behavior very differently. And once you understand why, you'll never look at social dynamics the same way again. There's a strange moment that happens to people who don't care about sports. A room full of people suddenly becomes emotional over strangers they've never met. Their mood changes, their identity changes. Sometimes even their relationships change because of a game. And for someone watching from the outside, it can feel surreal. Not because sports are meaningless, but because the emotional intensity feels almost tribal. That's the part nobody talks about. Sports were never just entertainment. Psychologically, they became a substitute for belonging. Humans are wired to join tribes, to feel connected to something larger than themselves, and sports create one of the safest forms of tribal identity in modern society. Same colors, same chants, same enemies. It gives people community without vulnerability. Think about it. Some men struggle to express emotions in relationships, but scream during a football game without hesitation. Some people can't talk openly about loneliness, but feel deeply connected sitting beside strangers supporting the same team. Because emotionally, sports remove the fear of rejection. And people who don't obsess over sports often notice this instantly. They usually observe more than they participate. They analyze group behavior instead of emotionally merging into it. That doesn't make them smarter, but it often makes them feel separate, especially in social situations. A lot of friendships between men are built around shared external interests: sports, competition, teams, status. So when someone doesn't connect to those things emotionally, conversations can start feeling empty, not fake, just repetitive. And over time, they stop forcing interest. But here's where it gets psychological. Many people who avoid sports obsession are actually uncomfortable with emotional dependency in general. They dislike the feeling of needing outcomes to feel emotionally stable. They avoid attachment patterns that make their mood controlled by external events. And yes, this can show up in dating too. They often detach faster in relationships. They guard their emotional energy carefully. Sometimes they struggle to understand why others become so emotionally consumed by celebrities, teams, or romantic partners. Because their brain constantly asks one question: why give something that much control over your emotions? But ironically, this emotional distance can create loneliness. Humans still crave connection. Even detached people do. That's why some people secretly wish they could feel the same excitement everyone else feels during a championship game, a concert, or even a relationship. Not because they love the activity itself, but because they envy the feeling of belonging. And maybe that's the hidden truth. People who don't obsess over sports are not emotionless. Most of the time, they're just emotionally selective. They don't easily surrender their identity to groups. They don't attach quickly, and they rarely enjoy performative passion. But underneath that detachment, there's usually the same human desire everyone else has: to feel connected without losing themselves in the process.